we were just kind of a little bit about, Melissa said, that we've gone into a month of summer, and Chrissy and I were like, kind of like, we've gone through 30 days, so we should be good. And we're like, no, we're not. We're still not good. No.
No, it's bad. And I have babysitters, so it's not like I'm trying to like work here with, the kids like being their caretaker, but it doesn't matter because they think that you're home so that they have like complete and total access to you. I was out yesterday like working, and my husband was here with my kids, so it wasn't like they were home alone or anything. And my oldest was sending me like caps locks text messages like, "When are you coming home? Mom, mom, mom." And I'm like, "Girl, I am out working, like you cannot do that."
Yesterday, I was doing the same thing. I'm working, and my daughter's like, I needed to go to Walmart. I knew that. But she was like, okay, what time are we going? What time? And I had to give her like a time. I'm like, I don't have a time. I'm still working. She's like, okay, are we going now? I'm like, no, we're not going now. And then she was like 10 minutes later, she's ready to go. And I'm like, I am not ready to go yet. And it's so hard because they see you, and they expect like, okay, let's go do something, or can you take me to a friend's house right now? And I'm like, I'm right here working.
It's like, no, I cannot do that for you.
Or how many times have you heard, I'm bored? I'm bored.
So many. And the thing is like they're in 100 activities. So it's not like they're not just sitting here all day. Like they're at Vacation Bible School this week, and they're in, Girls Do Cheer, football started, like they're with their friends in the evenings. Or I've been trying to like start early to get done like at 3 or 3:30 so I can still take them to like the pool and stuff a couple of times a week. So it's not like they're just sitting here staring at a wall. We keep them busy, but they're not wanting to do any chores either. During the school year, they do fine with stuff. The bedrooms, disaster, laundry everywhere. Like, I don't know. We need to get back on a routine and like some actual structure because this is bananas.
Yeah, I agree.
I think there's expectations that we have. We get it planned in our mind, like how we think the summer's going to go. And then you stop and look around and you're like, no, none of this is working. Like you said, you put all those things in place. You do get everything set up, and you get yourself to the grocery store and you're like, okay, we're good for a week. 3 days in, all the food's gone. It's like you didn't even go.
For real. I'm dying. Like my husband's like, "Hey, we have nothing." And I'm like, "Well, you go then, because I don't have time." I'm like, it's Friday. Like as soon as I get done tonight, I'll go to Sam's Club, but I have a full day, you know what I mean, today. It's been wild, but they eat it like in 5 minutes. I went yesterday and grabbed like some just snacks at the Dollar Tree in between visits because I knew we had football registration last night. They ate all of it. All of it. Like $52 worth of Dollar Tree snacks gone. I bought like 20
there's
packs.
No moderation. There's not moderation here.
No, it was like, oh God, look, there's all these snacks. I guess well, Jill's son was there, and he's a snacker, so that makes part of that.
That's so cute.
Well, he's the best.
I always hear there's nothing to eat in the house. Like, even if we get the lunch meat to make sandwiches, it's always, we don't have anything. And I'm like, no, it's nothing that you can't just put into like the air fryer or microwave. You have to actually make the sandwich or put a pot on the stove to cook something. It's like, no, that instant gratification is something that we have to have. And it's easy.
Yeah, and I can't keep that kind of stuff in the house. Like I can't keep like Hot Pockets, frozen pizzas, chicken nuggets. They're gone so quick because the kids can make them easy. But my oldest can cook. Like she could make something. I was trying to make like big amounts of things because they like burritos and burrito bowls and that kind of stuff. So I made like 5 pounds of chicken like one day last week, but it was gone really fast too. I feel like all they did for 3 days was eat burritos.
Yeah, I know. I had the shredded chicken too, and it was like, make some bowls, make some burritos.
That's what I was like, oh, this will be perfect. Like they can eat this for lunch for a week. But no, it didn't last very long because I swear my oldest ate like a burrito, a quesadilla, or a burrito bowl for every meal for 3 days.
Maybe we need to start putting recipes together so that we all have like meals. I think that's the other thing. It's like by the time dinner comes, it's like I don't want to make any more dinners. Like, I'm so done. Like,
No, we've eaten so much like junk this summer. I'm usually pretty good. Like on Sunday evenings, I would like throw, some dinners together for the week. But my kids are sick of the crock pot. And with working, like in all of their activities, I can't get stuff made. So if I can't make it ahead or you won't eat it out of the crock pot, like I don't know what to tell you. Microwave a hot dog. I really,
and how many more days until school starts?
oh, so many, Tracy, so many.
I
But
don't
then
think
it's gonna
Melissa says
be,
like
how do I buy
prepare
like
ourselves.
school supplies and shoes? Like that's the next thing.
What is?
School supplies and shoes and all of that stuff. I'm not ready for that.
The stores are already packing with the backpacks and getting ready for school, and I'm just like counting the days down. I really am. I'm just like,
Oh no, I'm ready to. I like can't even handle it. I did get like a little bit of good news yesterday with my oldest. That's my one that has always struggled the most with school. And we got a letter in the mail that she made National Junior Honor Society. So
nice.
she has to do like public service or whatever over the summer for it, but then yeah, she gets inducted in the fall, which was a very nice win considering they're home and they're annoying me to death. So I was very happy to hear.
Well, congratulations. That's exciting. Yeah,
That's
So that's cool. That's like a
what
good
grade is
perk
she
for the
in?
summer. She's going into seventh. She's going into seventh. And it's just, I mean, to most kids, I guess that's not a huge deal, but this one went into fifth grade barely being able to read. So the fact that she's made that much progress, they're trying actually to discharge her from her 504, but I'm not about that yet. So we'll wait and give it another year
Good
and
job,
see.
Mama.
So yeah, no, I was about to call you for backup when I got the letter. I was like, oh, what am I doing here? But then I called and the guidance counselor was cool about it. So it was all right.
Yeah, and I think that that's something that even, our listeners can learn about is, that the schools really do try to, take our kids off of the IEPs and 504 plans when they start, or not even give one, and we have to fight for that. I know that my grandson, who is on the spectrum, we tried getting him an IEP a while ago, and they're like, no, he doesn't qualify, and it was just like, and he was struggling. Medical issues plus the autism, and so he never did get the IEP. And what kind of things did you say anything to the guidance counselor, Chrissy, about keeping it?
Well, she had said that like from the feedback from the teachers was she didn't use it very much. And I was like, well, no, she said she did use some of those accommodations in math and that she will need to continue to use those accommodations in math. And one of the accommodations in there was that she was always in co-teaching classrooms for core subjects, especially for ELA and for math, because it's just better to have that extra teacher in there
Yeah.
for her, especially in math where she does very well but gets behind quickly. And so I think that's why she did well. So those were the two most important things, was being able to retake a test that she got below like a 50% on to take the average. That saved her several times. And also like small group testing when they do like
Okay.
the state assessments and things like that. It's too much for her to sit in those rooms to do the statewide testing. So if you get rid of the 504, you get rid of all of the things that have made her successful. They're not huge accommodations. It's not anything major, but it's just enough little bits of help to get her to be successful. So if you take those small things away, she's going to go back to struggling, and then she's going to lose that confidence that she's built. It's not enough to make, I mean, it really doesn't make a difference. Like she knows the material. It's not like doing anything for in that regard, but she needs it. And the guidance counselor was cool once I, explained why I felt like she needed to keep the 504. I said, you can take some of the other things out of there that she doesn't use. I said, but those are the three things that like need to stay in there.
And
Good
especially
for
if she's going to go to a higher grade, high school is right around the corner. And so you want to be able to have those things now, so that we can prepare her for that transition into high school.
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking, but I was very happy to see that is a piece of paper I never thought in my life I would see. So that made me very, very happy. We're super proud of her.
Good
Me
job.
too. That's wonderful.
Yeah, she's a good girl. Yeah. She was thrilled. She like never thought that it would happen in a million years, and she didn't know what her GPA was, and she went and looked it up, and she was like, "Mom, it's a 3.75. I must have done really good this year." But she is so
Oh,
used to, I mean, all of elementary school, like she was the only kid getting C's, and everybody was getting straight A's, and it really, was bothersome to her. And now she's like in the top 25% of her class, which is amazing. I hope not that numbers like that matter, it doesn't matter, but just to see how far she's come.
yeah. To see her feel good about herself.
That's
And
it.
they have to be at school so many hours a day. That's a long time to be somewhere where you don't feel adequate and like kind of flowing with your peers. That's a lot on a kid. It really is.
Yeah, it was
So,
very tough for her when she was younger, especially like the struggling with reading. And no matter what we did, like she had tutors, she had, Title I, she had everything. She just never qualified for an IEP because of, I guess, like something with like the IQ and her performance matched up or something. So she couldn't get it. So we got her everything we could possibly imagine and nothing was clicking. And finally, a mom from the cheer gym who's a Title I teacher in another school district said, "Have you ever tried this?" It was maybe Wilson or something like that. No.
Wilson
Okay,
reading.
well, I have the curriculum. Let me work with her while, the little ones were at cheer practice. And Lynette sat with her in the food court of the mall and worked with her last summer. Oh no, it was summer before last. And since then, she has taken off and she's been fine. She's never gonna be like, I'm a big reader. She's never gonna be a big reader, but at least now she has the ability to be if she wants to.
yeah.
Wilson reading is a really good curriculum, especially for dyslexia. Um, so I'm glad that you had a tutor that was able to do that with her.
Yeah, I never even heard of it. I don't know much about like that kind of stuff, but it was just a mom listening to me cry about how I didn't know what to do to help her. And she's like, let me try. And she did. And she's amazing. Like, I owe her so much.
Are your kids anybody in extended school year during the summer?
No, my kids, even with they all, have some type of struggle, have never qualified for it. The district that we live in doesn't have the best special education, system. I think if we were in a different district, at least a few of them would have maybe. Two of mine do very well academically. They just have like some behavioral issues, and then the other two struggle academically. It's the youngest and the oldest big academic struggles. The two middles are very, very book smart, but they both have behavioral issues. So we have something going on all the way across the board, but no ESY for us.
I think it's so hard too because my daughter is going into her senior year. She's done extended school year practically since second grade, and she didn't want to do extended school year this year because she's like, we don't do anything there, we don't, that it's not worth my time. And I said, well, we have to give it a try, because summer months, I know for us that regression, and that's how I pointed out to the school that says, if she doesn't qualify, I'm like, you show me why she doesn't qualify when you have all these progress reports that come home saying she didn't meet those goals that were set up in her IEP, right? And then they'll quickly change their mind and say, oh, yes, she does qualify. Okay, if I didn't challenge that, you would have just said, okay, she doesn't qualify. But, so many times I hear, like, even this year, she's taken a virtual field trip to Disneyland. She's watched a movie, I think. She did cook yesterday. So that was nice-ish. But like I feel like I like that she's cooking, but where is that coming together in her IEP and putting it in place for when we go back to school? So I'm a little concerned. I did try contacting the special education director, but she might not be there until after the 4th of July. So I will be messaging her saying, what is the curriculum for this extended school year?
Yeah, I feel like that should be filling in gaps. Like, shouldn't that be what ESY is for? Like, to fill in the gaps, like maybe this child needs help with math, or maybe this child needs like some reading help, or maybe this child struggles with spelling, or I know like my oldest missed during COVID, like cursive writing and learning to count money. So it would have been nice if she would have been able to do
Right?
like a class over the summer to learn to cursive write and to the
Do they
money
even
stuff.
do that anymore, Chrissy?
Yeah, in
Like,
our district they do teach cursive writing, but it's only in second grade. So they go through like a book of cursive writing in second grade and that's it. Well,
that's
COVID
it.
happened her second grade
Right.
year, so she only got to the letter L. So she only knows the cursive letters up to the letter L. And I tried to work with her on it during COVID, but it didn't work. She did. I can't teach her anything.
Sometimes for parents, that's the way it is. Like you need somebody else to do it. Like you guys like butt heads, or I don't know. I've tried so many different things of teaching my kids different things. And it's like some things will stick and other things it's like there's no way in the world this is going to happen. Like I know it's not going to work. And
I don't
then
think she thinks
somebody
I
else
know
does it and it's like, "Oh yeah, I got that."
anything. Right.
The curriculum that they're using for extended school year, I think as a parent, for me, I would like to see what they plan on doing, when I sign up for extended school year. So when my special education director does come back, I'd like to have a meeting with her and just go, where does virtual Disneyland, trip fall into that curriculum? Like we're going on she could do that at home. That's not doing anything for the reading, like Chrissy said, the math, the regression, working on money. For 3 years, we've had the conversation about working with money, and the concept, because with my daughter, she struggled immensely with the concept of money and the value of a money. So like if you give her $20 and she goes to the store, she doesn't know how much all of the like what she buys, how much that is to equal that $20. So she might go to the register and it will be, 25, and she will be like, well, how did it come up to be 25? So I think that, we've asked the school districts to like work with money, and that still has not happened, and it just really irritates me.
My oldest, she doesn't really have, she's learning now a little bit, but it's not something that ever stuck for her either. We, have tried to explain to her things and tried to take her with us to do things to help her understand, but she doesn't really understand the concept either. So that would have been something I would have liked maybe school to go over with her more, because that's a skill that they all need to have. And so
Right.
I wonder if there's like an online class or something we can put them in to maybe help them have that better foundation. Because I'm not sure. We got AJ like a teen debit card from Venmo so that she could maybe see things like that. It's still kind of going over her head. So I don't know how to help her.
Yeah, we got the green light card,
Okay.
and I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of having that money in your hand, because like when we're using it, we'll put money on the table and say the dollar bills and the coins and how much you have to give, and then maybe get back. So a card, it just in her mind, it's just I need $30 to go to the Circle K. And I'm like, you don't need 30, because chips and a soda is not going to equal $30, right? So it's just card. Money's just in there, and you can just subtract it, and it's not kind of registering of how much money actually things cost, really. And it's
I think for parents it's hard because the way we learned money is completely different than how they actively use money. It's
yeah.
just very different process.
Well, and everywhere you go is now cashless. Like you go to places and it's like, no, you have to have a card. And I think that's a scary thought too, because then you're not using money. You're not having cash in your pocket to say, I'm giving you a 20 and I need some change back, and the coins even. So that's even a scary thought.
I was never good with like cash until I started serving. Once I started serving and you had to make change and do your math in your head is when I actually got good at math. I was always very, very good reader, writer, but my math skills were like grades below where I should be. But I started waitressing probably right out of high school. And that's when I learned percentages. That's when I learned how to make change. That's when my brain started to like understand numbers more. So I'm wondering if maybe like our two girls need some hands-on way to understand the concept. Like maybe they need a lemonade stand, maybe they need to work a concession stand for a sport to try to get like a hands-on experience with it. Because I think that's when it clicked for me.
Yeah, my daughter goes to the tech school and they have like a cafe. She even was in a life skills class after her traumatic brain injury, and they ran the register while they cooked and stuff like that. And they served it to the other, like the teachers would come in and buy lunch. But I remember talking to the school last year, that we need to focus on money. Like we're going to be graduating soon. So the goals should be money and life skills that after school she can apply themselves, to daily living. And I think we've talked about that a few times in this podcast, about the daily living and the skills that we learned when we were growing up. They don't have them in our high schools anymore. The sewing classes and the shop classes and, home ec, where you got to cook and you got to, go to sewing, typing, all those things.
Typing is huge. None of them can type. They're just so used to typing on an iPhone all the time. They do it just like that. I'm like, oh, I'm appalled. I really should like get my life together enough to have them start doing some things over the summer that'll benefit their life. Like I need to get them like in typing classes. They got to practice cursive writing. I'm going to start writing this stuff down. This has been
We've
a very
got
good
goals for Chrissy now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do a family goal plan about it, Tracy. I'm here for it.
Yes. So I think too, like that's something that our listeners can do during the summer too. I know that my husband picked up some workbooks from Walmart, with math, and we would sit down at the dining room table and just kind of review those things with her and put that money out on the table and what it looked like on the paper versus what it looked like, with the money. And I think that that's a really good thing to remember, that parents can also bring those, lessons into the home and try to do it. Another thing is that we went to the transition conference and they gave us worksheets. And so you can go to the grocery store and you pick out your groceries and you add them up as you're going through the store. So that kind of gets them involved. I mean, I know you have little ones, Chrissy, okay, you get the green beans and somebody else gets the macaroni and cheese, and cross it off the list. At least that gets them involved in shopping, and maybe how much did it cost?
They're appalled by the cost of things. Because I typically shop, like I order my groceries during the school year and pick them up. But now that they're home, they like want to come pick out their own stuff. The girls, I took them to a concert last weekend and we went to Walmart just last Saturday morning to pick out like the things that they wanted for after. We got like a couple hoagies, some chips, a watermelon, just a little bit of stuff. And it was $250, and the $2 were like, I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm like, guys, why do you think I'm working after all these years of not? Like the food is a lot, everything's a lot. They just didn't understand. So now my 8-year-old likes to cook. She's been watching like budget YouTube videos on cooking budget meals. So she's like, we should make this. It's cheap. You should make this. It's cheap. So it stuck with her.
Give us the list and the recipes too, because we're all struggling.
Oh my God, yeah, for real. Groceries are so crazy, and all my kids do all day long is eat now that they're home. During the school year, it's fine because they pack a snack, they pack a lunch, but then they're not here to just eat all day long.
Yeah, and I
I
haven't
can't keep cereal in the house, can't keep bread, can't keep Nutella. Like those are the things that they're eating every minute.
I agree. Nutella, does not take long for Nutella to go out the window when you buy it.
No, it's gone. Do you have a Giant Eagle up by you or no?
Yes. Yeah.
The Giant Eagle brand Nutella is about half the price, and I swear it's the same thing. It tastes identical.
Good to know.
It's pro tip, buy the Giant Eagle brand.
There you go. Well, I think that will be some good tips for the summer, maybe, is just to get some workbooks, try to get them involved in the grocery shopping, have them do some of the things that maybe extended school year is not doing. And if they didn't get to go to extended school year, having the idea of what was something that they were struggling with and maybe pick up a book. I know my granddaughter's reading through the summer, like, and keeping track of her books so that when she gets back to school, she can tell her teachers and maybe get some type of reward. But summer months are very hard on our kids. There's a lot of regression sometimes. So just trying to keep them involved in that learning process could be a valuable lesson for them.
Yes,
Anything
absolutely.
else that you would like to point out before we leave? Any points?
I think, Jill's always saying like it's a dumpster fire. I love that because it's true, but I think to like sit back, and now that my kids are older, it was always like so overwhelming with summers and everything that involved. I realize now, like, having the house clean, organized, the cupboards full, all that kind of stuff, it really don't matter. As long as they're happy, they're healthy, everything's okay, that is enough. Give yourself permission for that to be enough. Your house will get clean once school starts and you don't have 50 people in the house at one time.
Oh man, it's rough. I just don't like you can't keep up with it. I mean, it is what it is. I'm fine with it. As long as I can keep like my work done, they get to their activities, nobody starves, and everybody gets a shower, like I will take that.
And everybody gets out alive, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. Like that's good enough. As long as my work gets done, the bills get paid, they're alive. Like we'll just take that as a win for the
Yes.
summer because that's about where we're at. My car is I can't even. I was so embarrassed yesterday because I had not only Amber, who is a new employee with me, but I also had a family in my, like a parent in my car. And I was like, sorry, John, you just have to push everything over to the side of the back seat because there's so much stuff back there. And it's not garbage, but the kids don't take their like cheer bag, baseball bag, anything out of there. And I don't have like a large vehicle. So it's just dumpster fire, literally. Jill's word, dumpster fire. We'll all survive. We have all made it through so far. We will all survive. And out there, everybody that's listening, they will also survive. And just don't sweat it. Our kids are all awesome. So don't sweat the small stuff or you'll make yourself crazy.
For sure.
And just keep a nice, fire extinguisher close by for those dumpster fires, to put them out.
Oh my God. Find your people too that have been through it. Like you guys have been through it. So you're all like, oh, you'll be all right. It'll be all right. You need that sometimes.
I do think like Melissa's right. You look back on things and the amount of stress and things that you might think are just so, hard that you go back and you're like, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was, so we will get through this. We're already accomplished that much. So like you guys said, give yourself some grace. We'll get through this. And if you ever need to reach out to one of our family support partners, we're always here for you. So you guys have a great day and we will talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.